welcome to the Standpoint. Today we are dealing with the mother-in-law issue. Are they mothers-in-law or rivals-in-law? The stories, in fact, some of the unpleasant stories we've heard about mother-in-law, daughter-in-law relationship has fed into that perception that women are their own enemies. And oh, trust it, the men use it against us like nobody's business. But what is the cause? Today the focus is on mothers-in-law. Next time it will be on the daughters-in-law. My name is Gifty, Auntie. Welcome to the Standpoint. I have two mothers who will share the opinion on this particular topic, and I have some very beautiful people in the audience as well, and some men who will also share the experiences. I have a young lady also in the audience who says she has a beautiful relationship with her mother-in-law. We'll find out how that came about. I also read to you some comment from Facebook. The usual. That has led to some even saying that they will only marry a man whose mother is dead. That is dangerous. Let me say thank you to DTP for my cloth, and my dress was made for me by Ophelia Crossland Designs. My beading needs always provided by Matilda Hood Couture. They design my beads. I'd like to say thank you to Paba Cosmetics for the makeup products applied by Makeup and More. We take a break. When we come back, mother-in-law or rival-in-law. We'll be back.
Odo, ayo best my power. Koswanum tinated venicare what? When him say tinated venicare, and unkwane bibidra. Clinically, ya testing with Department of Pharmacology and Microbiology at University of Ghana on Medical School.
Sir,
Omudu stamp with say by Minia, num tinated venicare what?
Hey, tinated ambassador.
Abuya papa. 020-816-0807 and 0276-875629.
Tinated in Europe.
Ghana, get ready to be wowed as the 6th Radio and Television Personality Awards comes up live at International Conference Center on Saturday, 22nd of October 2016. Come and witness superstar performances from Africa's biggest dancehall artist, Shatta Wale. Supporting acts will be Okonfo Kwade, DKB, Lexi the Comic, and Obi. Grab your tickets at Peace FM, Kuala, Silverbird Cinema, West Hills Mall, and at Chimwata Mall. 150 Ghana Cedis VIP and 100 Ghana Cedis regular. It's the Radio and Television Personality Awards. For Gifty Auntie to win these awards, vote for her now. For Gifty Auntie to win Television Development Show Host of the Year award, text RTP Auntie DS to 1446. For Gifty Auntie to win the RTP Personality of the Year award, text RTP Auntie to 1446. This 2016 RTP Awards is sponsored by Adonko Bitters, the official beverage sponsor. Yaz Washing Powder, the washing powder with a difference. Atlantic Phones, home of original phones only. Specialized mineral water, drink the best, only specialized. Curtains Plaza, Curtains and More. Holiday Inn Hotel, Makers Design, makers of quality clothing, Innovate, and Africa Hall of Fame honors. The RTP Awards is powered by Big Events Ghana.
To the Standpoint. If you just joined us today, we are looking at the mother-in-law or rival-in-law issue. And I have with me in the studio the right people. I also have in the audience members of the Bethel Methodist Church Guild, Kokomlemle. Welcome. Now, the Standpoint is sponsored by Anointed Electrical Engineering Services, the generator expert. We are also sponsored by Tinated Herbal. They make the Tinated Tomacare and Venicare. Grand Rise, they produce Leap Tomato Paste. We are grateful to the African Women's Development Fund, AWDF. They've been supporting African women's rights organizations across Africa for over 15 years. And they've been our backbone for some years now. Now with me in the studio is Mrs. Alberta Eku-Sika Ado. She's the founder of Passion for Mother and Child Ministry. It's an NGO. Auntie Eku, welcome to the Standpoint. Next to Auntie Eku is Dr. Mrs. Gertrude Kwashiga. She's the Chief Executive Officer of Amber Quality Foods. She's the president of Courage and Gertrude Kwashiga Foundation, and she's my sweet, sweet, sweet auntie and mother. For years, it's been a long time, Auntie Gertrude.
That's right.
Good to have you on the Standpoint. How are you doing?
Very well.
Did you have a mother-in-law?
Yes, I had one, but it's late.
Yeah.
She's late.
What kind of relationship did you have with her?
So she's late, yes. But then she's been a very loving woman, very beautiful, with nice eyes. I admire that a lot. But then those days, education was not there. So our mother-in-laws were a bit too straight. So you have to make it palatable because you take them to be your mother and then give them the joy and happiness. And then try to play your role as a woman because you are also going to be one day. So sometimes out of menopause those days, they misbehave because they talk to the extreme that will hurt you. But you have to just, take it as a mother is talking to a child.
But Auntie, do you have a son?
Yes, I have a son. I have one son.
You have one son. Yes. Okay, let me go to Auntie Eku. Auntie Eku, did you have a mother-in-law, or do you have a mother-in-law?
I do have a mother-in-law.
She is alive.
She is alive.
Okay, what kind of relationship do you have with her?
Very cordial. She's a very nice woman.
Has it always been like that?
I would say yes. From the very first time I met her, she's been nice to me. And in fact, she's taking me as her daughter. And that is how we are to date.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, you two seem to be among the very few who are lucky, because I'm sure you've heard stories about women complaining about their mothers-in-law and what they have done to them. And actually, let me go to Facebook. Auntie, mother-in-law wahala, I have a very bitter experience. Now, the one that Faustina writes, to summarize, a very long one. She said the mother-in-law did something to her, and she stood in the middle of the house. The thing, they lived in a compound house, and she wept till she couldn't weep anymore. Okay. And since then, she never spoke to her mother-in-law. She never called her mother-in-law, and it took the intervention of pastors and elders before she even called her mother-in-law the first time in 3 years. And even that, she's still very bitter. But my question is, and I'm sure you've heard some of these stories before, why do some mothers-in-law find it difficult relating to because the focus today is on the mothers-in-law, not the daughter-in-law. We will talk about it on another platform. But the mothers-in-law, why do they find it sometimes difficult relating to the wives of their sons?
I would say sometimes it's difficult because the woman is like, I gave birth to my son 9 months, not forgetting that every child also is the same 9 months. But she's like, I was so attached to my son. We were one. He does everything for me. Now my son is married. This woman has come to take my son away from me. And I don't have a place in the heart of my son anymore. That is one of the problems we have. But not forgetting, once the daughter has married your son, I don't think the daughter is going to restrict your son from coming to you. Right? And I know in other cases, when the son went to introduce the daughter-in-law to the mother the first time, the mother-in-law wouldn't have liked the lady in the first place. But you can't go ahead and then tell her to her face. But you can call your son and then tell him, this and this is what I noticed, and then I don't think I'm going to love this relationship. But once the son loves the girl so much, he goes ahead to marry. But once the woman said, I don't like this daughter, and you've brought her in, he still holds, I don't like her, and it continues.
Sometimes you have to pray well for your son to get the right person. So a woman as you are will also have to fish around. Sometimes, some people will make up the marriage because they know from some families that this family is good, they can take good care of my son. Their track record has helped. So we can entrust this relationship. My son can be safe. So I don't think it's fear. But sometimes some people the behavior gets onto sort of being overprotective. Yes, you're overprotecting your son. You don't want him to suffer, to get into the wrong hands. I have only one son. So mostly I am overprotecting to a point, but I would like to have a woman that I can counsel a lot and even impact into her. And then where her lapses are, I'll be ready to make up for that.
Is your son married?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But he brings girls to the house. And then I take some of them to be my friends. I've never quarreled with any yet. Yes, but there was one I loved so much, but he said, Mommy, no. You wait. But they come around and they keep me company because for now I'm alone. So I need company. So when they come, we talk, we chat. And then I look at them. That's why I observe a lot. And then I like them because I like the younger ones, the upcoming ones. I like to actually counsel them a lot. And then, help them.
But you made a comment that when he brings you, like to study her and then help her, and then where the lapses are, you correct her. That means you have a sense of mind, how the kind of woman you want your son to have.
Actually, every woman will do the same. You will do the same. Yes, I know, but you wouldn't like just anything because you have looking for a character that will be, that will go into the future, because we are living. We don't know when God will call us, but they are going to form a family, that will be everlasting. So something that will be very, very, decent to carry the family far. Yeah, so that's why we should be ready to actually give where there are lapses. And I'm ready to do it because I love to talk. And I love to teach. Yes. So
okay. Eku, do you have a son?
Yes, I do.
Is he married?
Not yet. He's 21.
Is it a fear of every mother who, watching the son get ready to marry? Eku.
I don't.
To get yourself.
I remember my son told me, Mommy, when I'm ready to marry, I'll let my girlfriend come and stay with you so you teach her how to cook.
That's right. Yes.
That is what he always tells me.
That's
I want you to teach her how to cook, how to do certain things, how to talk, how to sit. I want her to be perfect just like you. And I tell him, Nana, you know what? We are all not perfect. If the soul girl comes and I see one or two things that is not right, you take her as your daughter and then you straighten her up. I guess that's the right thing to do.
Yes.
But I don't think I'll say I'm afraid because my son should get married. No, I'm not. Because I'm ever ready to open up my heart to her.
Okay. Eku, you also made a comment. You straighten her up.
Oh my God. I'm getting in trouble.
I told you that this topic.
No, the thing is, we are trying to understand. You see, that's the whole thing. The whole perception out there.
Yes.
Every woman with a son, you have to, when you're going to meet your mother-in-law, you have to be perfect. You have to be her. So we want to understand how mothers-in-laws think and why they behave in a certain way. You see, you are not pretending. It just came out like that. You straighten her up, So the whole thing is about the love you have for your son, and you don't want to see your son go through any hassle or struggles. And so you would want your son to have the right woman by his side. Has it got anything to do with it? You know, they say mothers are very close to their, or sons are very close to their mothers.
True.
And then girls are very close to their fathers. So the bond there, the attachment.
That's right.
And you rightly said, sometimes the overprotectiveness of the son sometimes leads mothers to behave in that way.
That's right.
Because straighten her up, teach her one or two things.
Oh my God.
And if you meet a daughter-in-law who says, "This is how my mother trained me, and this is how I do my things," then there can be some challenges, right?
Yes. I think that the matter to do with food, because my son always say the same, but he can cook, because in the house everybody must know how to cook. So he goes to the kitchen and cook, and then mostly some of the girls come, "Oh, Kobe, we are hungry," but they will not go to the kitchen to do anything. Kobe will go prepare food, bring it, they eat, and they leave the plate. Kobe has to pack the plates to the sink. You see, so, you know, they observe those things, and they also want the best for themselves. The area of food plays a very important role. You understand? So that has also been a lapse, you know, in most of this relationship, to be honest with you. Because Kobe will say, "Oh, mommy, me, I will not bring anybody to this house who doesn't know how to cook." I say, "Hey, easy. I'm ready to teach, because that's what I do all my life." "Oh, no. If I'm not coming to teach you how to cook, then what's the point then?" I said, "Those days, but now, we would like to make amends." But still, you know, so you could see that has been a problem now, that they wouldn't like to say no to that one. It's a priority, you know, food on the table. But they didn't specify what type of food or what time. But the person must be able to be practically okay to do certain things.
Okay, you're watching The Standpoint. Let me say thank you to Gogot Yogurt. You know, as a woman, yogurt is very good for you. Doctors recommend it. If you haven't been told by your health professional or your doctor, Google it and know the benefits of yogurt. And if you need yogurt, go for Gogot Yogurt. Awake purified water. For every bottle of Awake purified water you buy, they contribute 1 Ghana peso to the National Cardiothoracic Fund that goes to help less privileged children with hole in heart problems. We'd like to say thank you to House of Foods. Auntie Vera, thank you so much. Ever faithful. She's been very, very supportive, and we are grateful to her. Thank you to Cake Technique. And of course, Yep Cleaning Service. They take care of our environment and make sure we have a clean environment all the time.
Odo, ayo best my power.
Tina take tomac mixture. Oh, be only osani yefuyeri be niasem. Sana tina tet malake no so. Etu malaria, tipaye, stress, any hunam yao biase.
Free 020-816-0807 and 0276-875629.
Tina €13.
For Gifty Auntie to win these awards, vote for her now. For Gifty Auntie to win Television Development Show Host of the Year award, text RTP Auntie DS to 1446. For Gifty Auntie to win the RTP Personality of the Year award, text RTP Auntie to 1446.
Live! One can. Neighbor to for dinner.
LEAP.
Lip tomato paste.
Oh,
What else?
honey. When you say lip tomato paste, they be an idea. It's so be awesome.
Don't want to say
Madam, the food tastes very good. What's the secret?
LEAP.
Lip. Lip tomato paste. Emma Edouani de Papa.
For bulk purchase, contact 050-140-1088.
Welcome back to the Standpoint. I'd like to say thank you to Matamis, who gave us the pot, and My Stream Decor. They give us the exclusive things. You know, I'm always excited about my car tie center table and my wood side tables. We are so grateful to them. Auntie Eku. So a lot of things go into why a mother-in-law and how a mother-in-law will relate to a daughter-in-law. Now, you've talked about the cooking and straightening her up and all that. Okay, what about character?
One, you have to be respectful. That is the greatest of all. Respect your mother-in-law. I always say, if you love your husband really well, then you take your husband's mother as your own. Treat her the same way you treat your mother. Know how to talk to them. It's very, very, very important.
These are the normal things that we expect. Of course, there are some mother-in-laws, maybe let me come to you, Auntie Getru, who go to the extreme. Sometimes it's extreme. They go to their daughter-in-law's house. They want to take over the kitchen. They will criticize her in front of, her husband. There's nothing like, I'll call you, like, you come to the kitchen, like, Gifty, I came here, I've seen this and this. I don't think, this is right. You can do it. But some, they will, try to embarrass you in front of their son. And, sometimes it goes beyond what you expected. I had a situation where my mother-in-law called me and said, hey, who names any train brand? I mean, she was saying train She told me quietly. And then sometimes, we gossip and all that. I'm one of the maybe fortunate to have a very good relationship with my mother-in-law. But there's certain mothers-in-law who go to the extreme, and it's difficult.
Right, it's true. But society is being cancelled these days. There are a lot of counseling institutions who are doing their best, the Christian way, to actually bring programs on board to educate, point out these faults. So I think that with technology as we are moving, we are lucky to be in this position where we now know we can differentiate, we can really polish, and we can make amends. So the younger ones should count themselves lucky.
Right.
Yes, so we will not go to that extreme. You don't have to intrude, it's true. You have to give them the chance to study themselves and live by themselves. And then they have to study themselves. You don't go to the extreme of wanting to know what is there, how they are doing it. They have their plans. Everybody has plans these days. So those betas are cake. I'll call it their cake, their kolo. Somebody will say,
yeah.
That now people must learn the new ways is to actually be nice and to build a nice relationship, with your mother-in-law, or mother-in-law should build a relationship with their daughters-in-law, because they will also have something to give to them, just like handling them like their own mothers. Because I had a girl my son brought and introduced her to me. And I was so lucky because the girl comes to the house and we sit down and we chat.
Yeah.
If I have to go to church, I don't have a driver, she'll come and drive me to church and she brings me home. But I don't know what the problem with her and my son, but then that's one girl I love. Right. And I always tell my son that even if you bring me somebody, I don't know, you came to introduce her to me, maybe it was a mistake, but I love the girl. Yeah. If there's something that is missing, I'm ready, because that is the area I am handling now. Handling about food, handling about hygiene, like you're saying, home management, and all that, counseling and giving the best, and taking the home, so bringing happiness into the family. Those are things that with my age, I'm ready to impact into the youth. Right. So those girls will be lucky, that I'm ready to impact that.
That's also one of the things, Auntie Getru, don't you think that if your son decides that the girl you love is not the one he wants,
It's even showing because I'm trying everything, but
It doesn't, and it brings another girl.
So I'm neutral.
Your affection towards the new girl
They be
will
bringing girls.
They be bringing girls. You are there.
I just look at them. I say, this is so and so. I say, okay, hello, how are you? Because I don't know why. So mine is to advise.
Right.
So I'll ask, who is this girl? I don't want that to. Say, mommy, you wait. I'll bring the best one. You know, I'm studying. So still they are studying.
Right.
So our job is to counsel. You know, to actually let them have confidence, and then I don't know. They are not settled.
Right.
Every time their minds are dicey. You know, that's what I see. Today's youth. When you ask all the men in this room, they will tell you the same.
They are confused.
They are confused.
They don't know which one to choose.
I'm telling you.
And that's another thing.
Running away.
Yeah. Do you think that the man or the son also has a role to play in the kind of relationship that the mother, his mother, will have with his wife?
Depending on the relationship that my husband has with his mother, if it's cordial, my husband would want me to do same to the mother, and then we can flow well. Just like you said concerning the kitchen, maybe when my husband was not married, he goes to the kitchen with the mother, or the mother joins the son in the kitchen, they cook together. Even if it's not the son cooking and mommy is cooking, he's around talking. So my mother-in-law would think she can also do same in my home. For me, the relationship I have with my mother-in-law, I don't mind if she comes to my kitchen. She would not even decide to come and cook food for Eku.
Yeah.
But she can stand beside me as I cook, we talk.
So the impression I get now is, it's not like, ideally, not the mother doesn't set out to hate the daughter, but there are certain things that goes into it. And sometimes, as Auntie Gertrude was saying, the upbringing of the mother too can feed into that, because it's like a cycle. If I had a very horrible mother-in-law, then it's likely, instead of learning from it, I also, when I have a son, I also pass it on. Is that it? Auntie Gertrude?
Sometimes, but other times, it doesn't work like that. Because as you can see, that it's a relationship.
Yeah.
She's coming from a background, and then coming to join, a family somewhere. So you have to be expecting those things.
Okay.
You understand? It's possible.
Right.
Because characters are different. Trainings are different. So that's why upbringings are different.
Right.
So you don't have to actually take it in heart. So you start to complain about it.
Right.
Where you have to do something, do it.
Yeah.
As a mother, you understand? Because they are all children that belongs to mothers.
Yeah.
You see, you don't have to look down or thinking that, you don't want it.
Right.
Yes. You must be lucky to impact. And that is like we are doing God's work.
Your work, okay.
So we are here to actually do God's work. In every society, as we see ourselves, we give back to society.
Let me take a break and come back. The start point is sponsored by Anointed Electrical Engineering Services, the generator experts, Tinated Herbal, Grand Rice. They produce lip tomato paste, and the African Women's Development Fund. Thank you to GTP for my cloth. Ophelia Crossland Design made this dress for me, and my beading accessories by Matilda Hood Couture, makeup by Papa Cosmetics, and applied by Makeup and More. When we take a break, when we come back, we'll find a common ground. We need to break this cycle. We'll be back.
For Gifty Auntie to win these awards. Vote for her now. For Gifty Auntie to win Television Development Show Host of the Year award, text RTP Auntie DS to 1446. For Gifty Auntie to win the RTP Personality of the Year award, text RTP Auntie to 1446.
Odo, oyo best my power. Cause one num tinated venicare what? When say tinated venicare, and kwanye bibidra. Clinically, no, ya testing with Department of Pharmacology and Microbiology at University of Ghana on Medical School.
Sir?
Omudum stamp with say by Minia, num tinated venicare what?
Hey, tinated ambassador.
Aboye papa. Free 020-816-0807 and 0276-875629.
Tinated in Europe.
To the standpoint, I say thank you to our supporters, My Extreme Decor, Matame's Poetry. Thank you to Gogot Yogurt, Awake Purified Mineral Water, and Yep Cleaning Services. House of Food Superfly caters for our food during our recordings, and Cake Techniques also provides us with some refreshments, and we are grateful to them. Thank you very much to Mrs. Ofori Poku for your support. Every time we are having a recording, we are so grateful to you. Now I have in the audience, I have Eunice, who has an experience to share with a relationship with a mother-in-law.
Well, I would want to share an experience with my mother-in-law. She's one wonderful woman. She's Margaret Ai. I think the first time we met was when my husband was introducing me to her before we got married. And the first statement she made was that this is the first time my son is bringing a woman home. And I thought that was going to bring a serious issue, because and that was the only son, that's the only son he has. So I was sort of preparing and praying and seeing if I could gain ground. But I realized that she was a wonderful woman. In fact, when I had my first son and I had to go back to work, she said, I'll come every morning to take care of your son. And by the time I come back, my son has eaten, bathed, and all that, and she's just waiting for me to come so she goes home. And I was even wondering, won't you come and live with us? I said, no, I don't want to intrude. I'll come every morning. And she did that, yes. She did that every day. And I always wondered, in fact, till now, anytime we all move to visit her, it means it's my own initiative, not my husband's. Yes, and she's, in fact, I don't know.
And why do you think she has that affection for you?
I believe she loves the son, and I took her as my own mother.
My in-law is older woman, but the time I married my husband, they say, hey, my in-law say, Kwabra, Fantini ban wakofano. Then I say, hey, Kwabra, the word your mother is talking, I'm a fancy woman, but I'm good. So if you like, try me and see. So I married my husband. The first day we went to a hometown. My in-law say, hey, Kwabra, we are not bahao. And it is a bend day. Then I say, oh, you Kwabra, you don't fear. Me, I'm here to come and see the way the Kwao people, like, then you see the way the Fanti people, they too, they make their things. So me and my husband, we lived there about 2 weeks. Then my in-law say, hey, Kwabra, we don't know, say almost 1 year, say, yeah. So the way I make my in-law, now, if my in-law come to Accra, if I don't, I'm not in Accra, he won't stay. He say, me kwa fia ho. I had a mint and I have me kwa fia ho.
So I'm staying with my daughter-in-law. We are in the same house. But you know, children of today, sometimes their way of doing things is different. So because I love my son, I have to, admit it. We are in the same house. I've taken her as a daughter because I don't have a girl. But at times, you see, maybe he will think I like talking because the way I do my things and the way she does it is very, very different. But at times, I won't say anything. At times, I'll call her and tell her, Joyce, this thing, this, I don't like. So you have to change your attitude. But I've seen anytime you call her and advise her, she doesn't like. So I have to stop because she's from a different home. So I have to admit it because I love my son. But one thing I don't like about her is my kitchen. Me like this, if I eat and finish, I have to wash my bowl or plate. But if they eat, she will leave the things. Even if the husband take this thing, breakfast in the morning, she will leave it, maybe afternoon or evening time, before she will wash it. I've been telling her, but still. So I'm just praying so that God will change her because I love my son. I don't want to cause any trouble between them. Thank you very much.
So, Auntie Eku,
Before we are getting into the marriage, we have this perception about mother-in-laws. They are evil, they are wicked, they are this, they are that. So you tell yourself, oh, is that so? I'll go and meet her in there. So I'm coming into the marriage with the idea that, hey, this one, hey, Eku-Sika have come.
I'm going to take her son from her.
I'm going to show her my rightful place as
yes,
I'm the mistress of the house. But it doesn't help. It does not help one bit. Whatever you heard might be true, it might not be true. It varies from individual, right? Someone will be wicked, some will not be wicked. But if we all said, just let's look at Ruth and Naomi.
Yeah.
They had this beautiful relationship. Can you imagine yourself telling your daughter-in-law, go and sleep underneath a boyfriend or whatever I should call it?
Yeah.
I won't do that because you don't respect me. But if you do respect me, I'll tell you the in and out of everything.
Yeah.
That is when respect comes in. That is when you've taken me as your mother and I also taken you as a daughter. But if I advise and you don't want to take, then I don't know how you want to be comfortable in my son's home.
How to get you? How do we break the cycle? How do we find a common place for mother-in-law and daughter-in-law to live in harmony and not behave like rivals?
I think that's what my sister has just said, that we have to play a role. It will be a very difficult one, but then because you love your son, you have to just put yourself in the shoe that you want a good thing for your son. He has already brought the woman home. You don't want to be called a bad woman. Of course, yes. You have to now gather hope and courage to actually accept certain faults, massage it, and repolish it before it becomes too late. I don't think that the other one of shouting or becoming so unsociable, breaking into the home with anger, yelling, talking to your son in a different way, and then he comes in to show a character to the wife, and it does not bring that unity. We don't want that.
Right.
They must live in one, an
live in
accord.
peace.
Yes, an accord that would bring peace, so that the children can emulate that from them. Otherwise, you are bringing a family of division, which is not good. We don't want that. We want the family to be united because under one umbrella, if they're united, you have a very formidable family.
Right.
And then their way should be one.
Right.
You shouldn't allow them to go about telling their stories differently.
Right.
No, you can make that amends. Call them, talk to them. Why do you allow them to go out there and be talking about things that are not good. It's like you are spreading the falsehood of how a family is living, which is not good.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think you have been very candid and very open about it, and I'm sure a lot of, ladies watching today will see how they can go about it. And I'm sure mothers-in-law too who feel that, they have issues with their daughters-in-law will also have a different, attitude. So then we'll have a peaceful, because that's all we want. Well, since both of you have sons who are yet to marry, and you are prepared to straighten up the girls when they come and to teach.
Yes.
Well, we Lip Tomatoes would like to present you with some product so that you can use to teach them how to cook, and also help straighten them in terms of the cooking techniques and all that. Right. So we have some package for you from Lip Tomato Paste. Wonderful. Thank you very much. We are grateful. And we know that the two of you will help break the cycle.
Exactly.
You'll be the best mothers-in-law. You beat my mother-in-law. We take a break. When we come back, I'll give you a bit of me. Mother-in-law or rival-in-law. Some even refer to them as monsters-in-law. Others say evil-in-law. Today the focus is on the mothers-in-law. All we are saying is that we need to break whatever cycle. I'm sure most of us have heard the stories. Some don't have good stories to tell at all. And some of us who have beautiful stories to share, they refer to us as the exceptional few, or the lucky few, or the blessed few, to the mothers. We marry your sons because we love them. We want you to take us like your own. The woman is coming from a different background. The man is coming from a different background. We may come to your home with a different attitude you do not like. But the way you go about it, take your daughter-in-law as your own daughter. Relate to her the way you relate to your own daughter. You don't get it 100% from your own daughter. Your own daughter doesn't make you happy all the time. But the most important thing is, when your daughter-in-law is happy, your son will be happy. Sometimes, the woman may want to do something, but when she thinks about the mother-in-law, you want to forgive. Too many marriages are breaking down because of mother-in-law, and we don't want that. But you daughter-in-law listening, nodding, your time is coming soon. We will deal with you too soon. The attitude, the lack of humility, the gossip, the domineering spirit, the wanting to own your husband and taking him away from his mother. We will talk about it. As always, my name is Gifty Auntie. I believe in doing my best and leaving the rest to God, whatever situation I find myself in. But above all, I have super crazy faith in God. Do you? Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. Bye for now.